Good morning, Deer Park High School. It's Friday, January 10th, 2025. Welcome back to Deer Knower. I'm Gavin Zabala.
And I'm Vanessa Carrera. Today, the history of professional football in Houston and all of the important Hollywood news. But first, weather.
Enjoying the cold weather? You're in luck, because today's cold. Highs will only be in the low 40s, and lows tonight will be around freezing. It should warm up a bit over the weekend with sunny skies and highs in the 50s and 60s. Next week, we'll continue to follow this trend and possibly even reach 70 degrees by the end of the week.
Calling all 9th, 10th, and 11th graders. Want to be part of a lifetime sisterhood? Well, then come out and try out for the award-winning Deer Escorts. There will be a mandatory meeting January 14th and at 6:30 p.m. in the Teaching Theater. If you have any questions, email Ms. Morrow at jlmorrow@dpisd.org.
In sports news, on Tuesday, our boys and girls basketball teams played the Clear Springs Chargers. The Lady Deer went on to beat the Chargers 60-28 here in Watkins. Meanwhile, the Clear Springs boys are a top 10 team in the area and lead the district standings. They beat our boys handedly 69-30. They face the Dickinson Gators this Friday, with our boys being home and the girls on the road. Good luck to both teams. This past Sunday, the Texans played the Tennessee Titans in Nashville. In another classless show, the Titans chose to wear the Houston Oilers throwback uniforms for the second year in a row. Fortunately, the good guys whipped them 23-14. The former Oilers are now 0-2 wearing the Oilers unis against the Texans. Kaylin Smith and I dove into the history of professional football in Houston. Take a look. Professional football kicked off in Houston on September 11, 1960, with the Houston Oilers earning a 37-22 win over the Oakland Raiders. This win would set the stage as they would go on to win the AFL championship twice in a row. But in 1978, they began a streak of making the playoffs 3 years in a row, but wouldn't get their hands on the championship, which was now called the Super Bowl.
Again, in 1987, they would start a new playoff streak lasting until 1993, but would never make it past the divisional round. By now, the Oilers owner Bud Adams had been asking the city of Houston to build the team a new stadium. However, each request was denied by the city, and the fighting would last until 1996, when Nashville offered to buy out the franchise's remaining contract with Houston and the Astrodome, and the Oilers agreed.
Houston fans were devastated and felt there was a void in the city without football. Fortunately for Houston, there was another billionaire willing to do anything to keep football in the city.
Bob McNair was fighting for the league to have a team in Houston, and on October 6, 1999, NFL owners voted to award Bob and the city with the rights to the next NFL expansion team for a record $700 million.
On September 8, 2002, the Texans would play their first ever regular season game against the rival Cowboys while debuting their Reliant Stadium and earning the franchise's first ever win, 19-10.
The Texans would make their first ever playoff appearance in 2011 and make the playoffs again the next year, earning a wild card win over the Bengals in both years. They made the playoffs 2 consecutive years in 2015 and 2016, as well as in 2018 and 2019. However, they would never make it past the divisional round.
After Bob McNair's death in November of 2018, his son Cal would inherit the family's 80% ownership of the team. Quickly, Cal took charge by firing much of the front office, including the firing of head coach and general manager Bill O'Brien during the 2020 season.
2020 to 2022 was a very dark time, with their best record being 4-12. Under new ownership and the front office in shambles, fans were quickly losing faith in the franchise.
With the second pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select C.J. Stroud, quarterback, Ohio State.
And in a turn of events that would send ripples across the league, the Texans traded up with the Cardinals for the 3rd overall pick, drafting defensive end Will Anderson Jr.
The following year, C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson Jr. would lead the Texans to a 10-7 record, winning the division for the first time in 3 years, as well as beating the Browns in the wildcard round. Will Anderson won the Defensive Rookie of the Year award, while C.J. Stroud won the Offensive Rookie of the Year award.
Today, the Texans stand on top of the AFC South with hopes to make a deep playoff run for the first time in franchise history. Will they be able to do it? With the Titans' loss on Sunday, they earned themselves the worst record in all of football. They'll get to watch the Texans kick off the NFL playoffs here in Houston on Saturday at 3:30 p.m. They take on the Los Angeles Chargers, looking to make a run and represent our city.
Heads up, my fellow seniors, the 2025-2026 FAFSA application due date is coming up. Make sure you and your parents have it submitted by January 15th. It's also a graduation requirement, so be sure to submit a screenshot into the Counselor Canvas course.
As you may have heard, there's a possible official TikTok ban in the United States. President Joe Biden signed a bill on April 24th that would ban TikTok, a video app owned by Chinese company ByteDance. The U.S. is set to ban the platform on January 19th if they don't transfer ownership of the app to an American company. Incoming President Trump has asked the Supreme Court to stay the law from taking effect to see if a deal can be made to keep it legal. But you better go make sure you save your TikTok edits just in case.
In Hollywood news, the Spider-Man co-star Tom Holland and Zendaya are rumored to be engaged after she rocked a 5.02-carat engagement ring at the Golden Globes. Also, in a recent interview, Tom Holland has stated that once he started a family, he will just disappear from the face of the earth, meaning that he will stop acting and focus on his family. So to all the Tom Holland fangirls, we're sorry to break it to you.
Dang it. On a more serious note, devastating wildfires have ravaged Southern California this week. They have tragically destroyed numerous homes, including those of several celebrities such as Paris Hilton, Mandy Moore, and Jamie Lee Curtis. The Sunset Fire broke out Wednesday evening in the Runyon Canyon area of the Hollywood Hills, leaving many people evacuating their homes. Our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone in LA suffering throughout this tragedy.
That's it for us this week. Be sure to check us out on DeerNetwork.com, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube for more and amazing content. For everyone here at the Deer Network, I'm Vanessa Carrera.
And I'm Gavin Zabala, wishing you a great day and a wonderful weekend.
And
go Deer!